Hey guys, it's Kay. I debated about making this video because it has a controversial issue to it, and I didn't know if I wanted to make a video about something controversial, but you know what? I decided because it helped me to kind of understand visually what was happening in my business, in my mind, and that what was stopping me making money, that maybe it might be a worthwhile video to make to document this to you as well. So in this controversial video, I'm going to answer the question why you are not making any money online in your business. And pretty much it's going to boil down to being you're too fat. Now, not saying that to offend anyone, because as I mentioned before, this is probably going to be a controversial video. So listen to me and just hear me out here in this sense with this. When I say that you might be too fat, because I definitely realized that I was too fat in terms of why I was not making the kind of money I wanted to make. And I'm going to show you what that revelation came out to be and kind of how to get over that. So I'm going to go to my paint board here and show you what I mean by that. So we're talking about the issue of being fat. And that's a subject in the US that is not a favorable topic. No one likes this. So here's how this started. I came across and I met a young lady who weighed 300 pounds. Now, this person was a shorter, more petite person at a bit over 5 feet. So that's kind of a smaller person who's pretty petite. She mentioned she went from 300 pounds down to 170 pounds. And when she mentioned that, I was blown away. That was quite an achievement. And of course, pretty much, I like people having great achievement, and I like to know how they do what they do, no matter what area it is. So when she told me that she went from 300 pounds to 170 pounds, I was intrigued, and we started this whole conversation on this topic, and this is the outcome of it. Now, she mentioned she weighed 300 pounds and she went to the doctor because she was noticing some issues. So at 300 pounds, the doctors found out that she had diabetes and that the diabetes was actually contributed by, and pardon me if my spelling is not good here. So her diabetes was caused by her weight gain. So because she weighed 300 pounds, she then developed diabetes. So the plan of the doctors was really not to have her on long-term medications like some diabetics do, taking insulin or giving themselves shots every day. Was really to get her down to a decent weight so she could manage her diabetes. So it was pretty exciting when she got down to 170 pounds. Pretty exciting that she might be on the road to really controlling her diabetes. So pretty impressive. But at 170 pounds and being the height that she was, she could definitely bear to lose a couple more pounds, and it would not really hurt or affect her because her height really allowed her to have less weight on her. So the doctors really want her to get down to, they mentioned, 120 pounds. And that's when she screamed and said, "No, I cannot get down to 120 pounds. I do not want to get down anywhere like that. That will not be good. I don't want it." So she was really rebelling against the idea of losing weight. I mean, she said, at 170 pounds, I feel pretty fine. I don't want to lose any more. I like my curves. I like my figure the way I am at 170 pounds or more. I don't like anything you know, going in this area. And that's when it kind of hits me between my eyes. Now, here's a lady who had diabetes, right? Which is a very, in this world of medicine and, health, it's a very bad thing. We're talking about the possibility of having eye issues, having heart issues because of the diabetes. We're talking about nerve damage here. People losing toes and different body parts because of it. So it's not a disease or a condition that you want. Um, it's definitely something if you could get rid of it with some diet and losing weight, it'd be like, okay, I guess I have to hunker in and do this. But even with all these bad things, even with all this stuff that this person could develop, they shirked at the idea of losing any weight, and they have a mental block in a sense to actually fighting their diabetes. This weight loss became a huge mental block in her going to achieve losing the weight in order to manage her diabetes. So this is going to be a mental thing that I could see she's going to carry, probably the roller coaster of probably losing weight, gaining weight, because she cannot really maintain the idea of losing weight to maintain her diabetes, but to allow herself to accept herself at a lower weight. So what does that mean to someone like you and I in the entrepreneurial world? Well, I definitely saw a connection here. Here we are with our own problems, right? If you're an entrepreneur online, looking to make money online, or have a business online, you probably have a job, or had a job, or had something to this effect that's giving you constant money. So here it is, you have a job, but you went to the money doctors in a sense. So you went online to find an opportunity to make more money online because you have some problems. And chance one of the biggest problem you have is loss of passion. Now, have you ever met anyone who had passion, or you felt it yourself at one point where you sprang up out of bed, excited to start the day? You just couldn't wait. You went to bed at night excited. You got up excited, ready to go. Now, because you have a job, the problem a job is costing you, just like how this diabetes was costing this person really major issues in her life for her to seek the attention of a doctor. This job is causing major issues in entrepreneurs' lives, that they're losing their passion. They're not getting up out of bed excited anymore to do things. They're getting out of bed cranky, crabby, can't stand the job, rolling over in the morning, going, oh my God, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to drive the traffic. I don't want to deal with my boss, my coworkers. I don't want to drive back home when it's late at night, dark, in the wintertime, or I miss the entire summer months. You know, another thing people in the job scene are facing is, you know, decreased relationship with their spouses and their kids. So, you spend all this time at work, right? You're tired, exhausted, and pretty much exhausted from just maybe not even the work, just the idea of being at work and dealing with people, that you're so exhausted that when you come home, you hardly have time for quality relationship with your family. So what happens? The relationship with your family decreases. The kids start doing some crazy things, and because you're not, as involved in their lives, they may be influenced and be going in a different direction than you'd like. Then there's issues with the spouse. You know, issues comes up, and there's so much on your plate, so much to think about, so much happening, that the relationship with your spouse is not as happy and as joyful as you would like, because of all the tension and everything happening. Another thing happening is you're making money, but of course you're spending money. There's different things to take care of, so your money is really decreased from the job. It's like you're making money, but it's like you can't see it. You're living paycheck to paycheck. So that poses a problem, and then causes strain and everything else. Ultimately, what could happen is, you know what, we have a family breakup, and that's the ultimate um, to the problem here, is that it could lead to a family breakup. And we've seen that many times with divorces being led to because of, family issues and strains, that ultimately it comes down to money, the finances. Somehow finances got involved, and there's divorces and people walked away from relationships. So having a job is a problem. Just like having diabetes is a major problem. It could cause some serious problems. And we as entrepreneurs know that. We're probably experiencing some of these things. Maybe not all of them, but definitely some of them. For the very top one, loss of passion, we all definitely have it. So we find an opportunity online that's going to make us extra money. And that is the magic pill that's going to solve our problem. Now, that magic pill, just like how the magic pill allowed this young lady to lose, almost half her weight, will allow us to make a lot of money. And we definitely realize that because we see the compensation plans we see the numbers on paper, we know it's very possible. So what's preventing us from, making that money, right? What's preventing us from making the money? Just like what's preventing this young lady from going from 170 to 120? It's not that she can't. It's because it's a mental block that she has with losing her weight. It's the same thing here. We are having a mental block to making that money online because, and you're saying, well, why would that be? I really want to lose my job. Because, with a job comes some kind of security, right? You're getting a steady paycheck. That's definitely a concern. You're getting a steady paycheck. You know where your insurance is coming from. You don't have to think about insurances, picking a plan, figuring out how much percentage to pay the insurance company versus how much your deductible is. Everything is set for you, so that's kind of taken care of. You definitely know where you're going every day. So every day you know where you're going, what you're doing. Even if you don't like it, you know there's a security knowing where you're going and what you're going to be doing. So there's some things about the job, and there's a lot more list to this, but there's some things about the job that definitely we want to keep. We want to have to know we're going to get a secure paycheck at the end of the week, right? That when the bills come at the first of the month, that there's money to pay it. That it's coming in month after month, and it's a secure kind of paycheck structure coming in, so we can pay our bills. That's coming month after month. Being an entrepreneur does not equate to security. Even if you're making a lot of money, that's when you'll feel secure. But as a new entrepreneur, because you're not making a lot of money, you have no security to replace the security you feel of your job. There is no insurance that the company you're working for is giving you that says, okay, if I quit my job, I'm going to have a place to get insurance. So if something happens to me, I'm taking care of insurance. And then the other thing is, you know, where do you go every day? It's like, how do I structure my business? What am I doing every day? And that's another thing, because right now you probably aren't doing things consistently that you could have a routine to say, okay, every day I'm doing this. So these are the things we struggle with on a daily basis that prevents us from making money. Because, we know that to make money online, it involves two things. You got a product or service on one side, and then you have people on the other side, and you just need to connect the two. You need to introduce the people to the product or the service that you have. And there's only one way to do that, right? There's only one way to achieve this process, and that is to advertise. That is to get the message out there. So if that's all the thing that we need to do is pretty much advertise and get the thing out there, and that's what any of the marketers is doing, then it definitely is like this process is just going from here to there. But the only thing keeping you is that mental block. Because if you did not have that mental block, right, you'll know that, okay, I just need to advertise. I need to go post more ads. I need to be more creative in my marketing. And I need to be more consistent in my marketing. So three things that chances are you're not doing because of this issue right here. The insecurity of thinking that, you know what, I want to make this more money, but there's some things that are holding me back. This mental thing is holding me back. So I hope you kind of see what I'm getting at here. I hope this kind of makes sense, because when I actually talked to this young lady, it was like night and day. I saw it very clearly on this side how an entrepreneur really sabotages themselves when they're trying to make money online without even knowing. I mean, I had the same thing as well when I was, you know, trying to get out of this process of needing a job. It's the idea that, okay, I have a job, but I'm doing this, but something is not right. And that's where I come to the conclusion that it really boils down to the mental part of it. If you weren't stuck in the mental part, you'd really advertise more, you'd be more creative, like I mentioned, and the process will happen for you because you've let go of the scarcity idea, of that idea that you can't do this, and then things flow naturally well when your mind really knows that you can do this. So what I found is, and the best way to get over this, and you're saying, okay, I could, now that I kind of understand that, okay, maybe it's a mental thing, I'll just undo this mental thing and move on. The thing is, you have to have the thoughts in order to do the action. So if right now you haven't fed your brain with the right thoughts, because you don't know how to think about this, and I didn't know how to think about this either. I mean, I didn't know some of the things I should be thinking about and in what scope I should be doing it. So I was trying to do it all alone, and it wasn't happening until I really fed my brain. And I'm gonna, fast forward your learning curve in this process so you could get over this mental thing very quickly and actually start having massive success in your business. So what I'm going to suggest is you Google a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. It's by George Samuel Clayson. And this is what the book looks like. You can find it on YouTube. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. Find it on YouTube. Listen to it as an audiobook, like when you're driving to work, you're going somewhere. And I guarantee this book is going to open your eyes to a different world, a different mental channel to actually channel your brain into making money online. As weird as it sounds, and I know it might sound hokey, because you've probably heard this before, there's something magical about your brain when it comprehends that anything is possible. Magical things happen. So download this book, actually go to YouTube, just play it as an audio whenever you're going somewhere, listen to it. I really guarantee it's going to change how you look at things. The other thing is, at the end of this video, I'm going to probably post a link to show you a simple way of how you could, in a sense, whatever business you're in, opportunity to kind of get over the hump and use a simple technique to improve whatever you're doing right now.